The Cybercrime Harm Prevention Team is a national unit, and part of our remit is to go out and speak to businesses, education, third sector, and help with keeping them safe online. We don't investigate cybercrimes. We have an independent cybercrime investigations unit. However, we do sit alongside the investigations team, particularly in the recovery stage of cyber incidents, and that's what I've been asked to come along and speak about today. So if we have the first slide, please. So what is a data breach? And we all know really what a data breach is. A data breach occurs when information held by an organisation is stolen or accessed without authorisation. And if you think about the kind of information that is out there about yourself, whether it is with your employer or whether it's by any other kind of organisation or place that you may have given up information in the past, you'll know that quite a lot of information, personal information to you, could be in the hands of a cyber criminal should they breach someone online. So I'm going to have a quick look at some of the steps if you find out that either your organisation or organisation that you are linked to has had a data breach. So if we have the next slide, please. So we'll drill into these a little more in a couple of slides' time, but these are initial actions to take if you find out that either your employer or an organisation has had a data breach and you feel you may be affected by that. And the first step is to contact the company involved. They'll be able to tell you whether you are affected by the breach, and they'll also be able to give you advice on what to do. The best way to contact them is to seek them out online and find a phone number or a trusted contact for them, rather than to try and go through emails, because obviously they may be corrupted or there may be issues with their email service. So finding out if you have been affected would be the first step. Secondly, and this is something we should be aware of all the time, is to be alert for suspicious messages. We all know the types of messages, we've seen them plenty of times before. They may come in all different kinds of forms. But in relation to a data breach, you may receive messages asking for you to reset passwords, maybe offering compensation, asking you to confirm identity, or you may get emails with lots of tech speak in them that ask you to do something in a really short space of time. And that's to try and panic us into doing something we don't want to do and click a spurious link. So we should always be alert to some suspicious messages following a breach. Changing passwords, the short video there showed us a little bit about passwords. And of course, we should have different passwords for each account that we have. So if there has been a breach with an organisation, then change your password that relates to, and that's where it's valuable to have the different passwords for each account, so you don't have to change the passwords for every one of your accounts. Checking your online accounts for unusual activity is important as well. Such things to look out for would be having difficulty logging into your account. Maybe some settings have changed, or you can't change the settings yourself, or there's some messages or notifications that you don't recognise. There's a lot of things to look out for within your accounts, just to be mindful of. If you suspect that account of yours has been accessed or has been breached in some way, then I point you in the direction of the NCSC guidance on recovering hacked accounts. So the NCSC is the National Cybersecurity Centre, and that's where we take all of our prevention advice from. They've got lots of good information on all manner of cyber subjects, so that would be the first port of call if you're ever looking for any kind of information on anything cyber related. And the last one on the list there is a website called Have I Been Pwned? You can search up that website there, and it'll give you an option to insert your own email address. And when you type that in there, it will tell you if your email has been involved in any public data breaches. So that will give you a good idea as to which of the above subjects that you, which of the above actions that you might want to action. Can I have the next slide, please? So we know about suspicious messages, and the video showed us about the security measures we need to take, but something that doesn't always happen is that suspicious messages and texts don't often get reported. So these are really easy ways of reporting spurious messages, whether they be email, text messages, or phone calls. So if you ever do receive a message that you think it may be suspicious via email, then forward it to the NCSC's suspicious email reporting service. And that's the top one there at report@phishing.gov.uk. You receive an automatic email back from them to say that they've got your report, and then they will investigate the email to see whether it is, in fact, a spurious email. Likewise, the text message scams, those phishing scams come in regularly, whether it's a Royal Mail scam saying you've got a package to pick up that you don't, or whether it's maybe HMRC asking you to click a link. If you think it's suspicious, then forward the text to 7726. That's a free service for reporting spam text messages. I know it's always easier just to delete them, but it's always good to forward these on because it helps us build a picture of what kind of scams are out there, and also to prevent others becoming victims to those scams. And the phone calls as well, although it may not seem to be cyber initially, your phone number may well be part of a data breach, and the cyber criminals may approach you via the phone call and try to obtain further information from you. If you receive nuisance, suspicious, or unwanted calls, you should contact your phone provider and speak to them about getting numbers blocked. And obviously, if you've been a victim of any kind of scam, then you should report that to your local police via 101. Next slide, please. So these are 8 steps to take if you have been the victim of a breach, or your information has come out of a breach elsewhere. There's also some good tips in here just to keep your own cyber hygiene as good as it possibly can be. So step 1 is to update the software on all your apps and your devices. And we all do the same thing when a little box pops up on our screen and says you have an update, and we can either update now or remind me later. And we all click remind me later because we're busy and we've got things to do. But we should always update our software as quickly as we can, because these updates include the latest security fixes, so they keep your software as secure as they possibly can be. So keeping things up to date as much as possible is really important. And where possible, you can set up automatic updates so you don't have to go and physically search for those updates. Checking your email settings. Criminals, if they have managed to breach your account, will often change your settings so they are able to see every email that you send, every email that you receive, and they can obviously use their social engineering to get further scams out of your information that way. So go and check your with your email provider, visit the support page of the email product, and they'll be able to tell you how you can check this and how you can fix it if there is any issues. Step 3, in a similar vein, is to use services support pages. So if there is an issue with you accessing any of your account, search the company's online support or help pages. You'll find information there about how to recover your account, and if you can't find the relevant page, you can often find it just by Googling, for example, Twitter account hacked. Step 4 there is to change passwords on relevant accounts. As I mentioned previously, a different password for every account, and the NCSC advice, as we saw in the video earlier, is 3 random words for your password. So 3 random words can join to make one long password, and you can add in numbers and symbols to make it even stronger. 2-factor authentication is another one that was covered in the video there. And it's something that's really, really easy, and something you could go away today and make yourself far more cyber safe with your own accounts if you set that up. 2-factor authentication can be set up on pretty much every social media account as well. So if you do that, set that up, and it gives you that extra layer of security. Notifying friends, followers, and contacts is really important if you've been the victim of a breach. As I mentioned earlier, the cybercriminal may have access to your email settings, so they may well send a spurious link to one of your contacts because they know that we're more likely to click a link that's coming an email from a trusted source, like a friend or a colleague, than we would be if it was just from a random organisation or name we didn't realise. If you can't recover your account, that's fine. You can just create your own one. But one thing to be mindful of when you're recreating accounts is to let everyone know that you've done so. This is particularly important if you've got banking details, utility services, shopping websites with details, important details in them. Make sure you update all of them. If you think about all the different places where your email address may be used, it could run into tens, if not hundreds. And finally, there is contact Police Scotland if you have been the victim of online crime. Not all online crime is reported. Some people don't feel they need to report it, or for whatever reason may be embarrassed to admit that they've maybe clicked on a link or something. But it's really important that we get a picture of things, how these scams are taking place, so we can prevent them happening in the future. And the next slide, please. And as with all these crimes, usually the end game is for the cyber criminal to make money out of them. And if you have lost money, tell your bank, but also report it as a crime to Police Scotland by dialing 101. As it says there, it will help the NCSC and law enforcement like ourselves to reduce criminal activity. And in the process, this will prevent others from becoming victims.